Hello everyone, we are back, and we are here with a review of Crow Country. Now this is a title I've been looking forward to ever since its announcement because with its visual style, it really gives the vibes of a PS1 or N64 era style game, but with its inspirations of Resident Evil and Silent Hill, which Resident Evil is one of my favorite franchises of all time, and I have played a few Silent Hill games, but I want to go back and play more of them. But regardless of that, what we have here is a very well crafted and loving experience I found. This game was just fun for me from beginning to end, and after the credits rolled, it just made me want to go back and play it again some more, whether it be finding all of the secrets, or even getting all of the unlockables, or going for a higher rank. But what exactly is this game? In it, you play as Mara Forrest, who goes to the titled Crow Country to find a missing person named Edward Crow. Now, there is some mysteries behind this, like who exactly is Mara Forrest? What happened to Crow Country with all these people here? Why are they here? And what exactly has happened? I don't want to spoil too much of that story, but needless to say, it was interesting and it kept me hooked from start to finish. And some of the revelations throughout the game, and even when discovering new areas as well, really helped that mystery and just made me excited to see what was happening around the corner and what's coming next. With that, though, the other thing that makes this kind of a nice homage to those Resident Evils and Silent Hill games are its combat and puzzles. So let's break those down at least piece by piece. Combat-wise, it's basically you just stand still, you aim, and you can take out the monsters in this game, but they're there for a reason, which again also ties to the story. Combat itself is actually pretty simple, and aiming isn't too bad. There were some times I thought where I felt like I was missing my aim a bit, but if you get the laser sight attachments for some of the weapons, you're gonna have an easier time with things. Combat did feel engaging, but it felt like it's just there. It's there for its existence, but I didn't really have a problem with it. The other aspect to these games is the puzzles, and the puzzles themselves were kind of hit and miss. Majority of them were hits, though, for me. They were engaging and entertaining to try and solve and, unlock things, because they are tied to stuff in the environment. Some of those puzzles I thought were very well done. There was, again, maybe just a handful I didn't really like as much, but there's always going to be something like that. They're not as obscure or annoying. Most of them are relatively simple, and they require you to pay attention. But I did enjoy that aspect of the game throughout. The other thing is exploration. Now, exploring Crow Country itself was a lot of fun. I did like to see the different parts of Crow Country, and when you unlock things, when you unlock other aspects of it and then go back to revisit, it made things interesting, and it made it worth exploring. One thing is that the game also lists, if you find the right item, you can actually find the secrets, and it actually shows them on the map. So I thought that was actually really handy. And you're gonna want to keep that in mind, because when it comes to this game, there is a ranking system with it. So it basically calculates how many healing items you used, or the points behind the healing items, if you used any hints, which does come in handy if you do get stuck on some puzzles and stuff. So that's a nice little touch. It also keeps track if you found all of the secrets and as well. That's another thing. Time is not a factor here, and saves are not a factor here as well when it comes to the ranking system. But if you can get those ranks, you can get cool unlockables. But the other thing with it too is, if you're not really akin to the combat, or you don't want to deal with the combat, The game does offer an exploration mode where you can freely explore, solve the puzzles and everything, and not have to worry about enemy encounters. So for those that don't want to deal with that or are too scared, this will be the mode for you. In terms of the experience itself, it wasn't too long. It took about, at least for me, a little over 4 hours to do, which doesn't sound like a lot, but I feel like it's the right length. I enjoyed the time and it made me want to go back and explore it more. So, in terms of length, I think it's fine. I maybe could have been a little bit longer, but I enjoyed it for what it was. And just to, like, wander around the park as well. But there's the one thing that really hooked me with the game when I initially saw it, and that is its presentation. To me, as I said, it's akin to the older games you saw on PlayStation 1 or N64, and it really harkens to that style, and I feel like it nails it really well with the blocky models, and, you know, it's this really good sense of atmosphere, and the music itself, it's very atmospheric, and it really fits the vibes. And it suits everything that the game is going for. Especially with some of those creature designs, they do look suitably creepy. The nice thing, though, is this is not very demanding on hardware. I played this on PC, so as long as you meet the requirements, you'll be fine. But if you're looking to tweak the game, there's not much you can do except go from full screen to windowed mode, and it looked like to me windowed mode runs at 1920 by 1080 or something, and full screen is full screen, so there isn't much in terms of graphics options that you can mess around with, but that's fine. It suits its aesthetic, and that's really all I can say about that. Presentation-wise, I feel like this game hits the mark. Overall, though, I did enjoy Crow Country. This was a lot of fun, not only as like a nostalgic thing, just because I enjoyed the older Resident Evil games, and even say Silent Hill 2, for instance, but harkening back to that, going through it, it's nice to see a modern take on it, and I really hope we get a sequel. And I can't wait to see how this game kind of evolves with patches. There is word of a hard mode dropping, so I can't wait to see what they do, what the developers do with this, but hats off, thank you for this. It's great. If you haven't picked this up, easy recommendation from me. You will have some fun with this title for sure. With that, I want to give a shout out and a thank you to SFB for providing me a copy of this game for review. Thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate it. Now, with that said, if you have had a chance to play this game, what are your thoughts on it? I'd like to hear what you have to say. Please leave them in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and thank you for taking time out of your day to watch this. I really appreciate it, and it truly means a lot to me. With all that said, until next time, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.
Super Retro Force.